Hi, Miss Eva. How are you doing today?
I'm very good. How about you?
Good, good. It's so good to be here.
I know.
Okay, so the questions for this breakout are about our family language interest survey. So how do you feel like it's working for you?
These tools, it is very essential for me because with this I can see and I can know the whole family and the child itself. And that's the way I can be prepared to teach the student.
I totally agree. I think it's because I think for a teacher, when they get new students, it's so hard to feel like you're being invasive or interrogating them because you don't have a relationship with them yet. But I feel like this survey gives us kind of like an in to be able to get to know them. So you kind of can not really blame the survey, but you can say like, we have to fill out this survey, but it gives you an in to start talking about like their home life and their culture and the languages that they speak. So you can start to build that relationship with them. I feel like it's such a good tool to like open the door.
Yes, because also they that's a good start, the good start to make the relationship with the parents. You know, and that's a more essential too.
Yeah, what do you think some challenges are with it though?
For this one, some of the challenges we can see is like, I can prepare appropriate learning for the student. So it's like they give me the idea or they guide me to know exactly how I can speak to them, what are the minds they have.
Yeah, so you're saying like this kind of helps overcome those challenges.
Yes.
Yeah. I think one of the harder things I have with this form, or maybe just with the whole thing altogether, which you do not have this problem, I only speak English. So it's hard for me because for our families who speak Hmong or speak Spanish, which is mostly where we work, what they speak, I have to have a translator. So that's the only thing that I feel like I need to learn another language, Eva. That's what I'm saying.
And you know, when I do the family language interview with the parents, and they already know we speak the both language, so they feel more comfortable. They feel very comfortable, and they start to feel more relaxed when they are talking with me, and that's the best way. They feel to communicate. They decide if they want to continue in English or they want to continue in Spanish.
Yeah, and I think that's like one of the benefits of this form is it kind of gets you to go from like that surface level relationship to deep really fast, which in where we work and how we work with our families, you need that because we only see them at drop off or pickup. And sometimes depending on the time, I don't even see them at both of those times. You know, like someone will come and drop them off before I get there, or they'll pick them up after I leave. And so we don't get that kind of like really good background and home history to really build out the relationships that we want in our classroom. Because if someone came in, one of my students, and they spoke Punjabi, and I didn't know that they spoke Punjabi at home, then I wouldn't know to specifically add music in, you know, that is from their culture, or add more like signage around my classroom in Punjabi and things like that. And so I think it just helps build out the relationship that we want in a much faster and efficient way than us just trying to like ask them questions throughout our relationship with them. Does that make sense?
Yes, and also we can introduce part of their culture inside the classroom with their students.
Yeah, I totally agree. What do you think is like your favorite part from this form? Like thinking about how you use the information, what do you think is your favorite part from the form? Is it like knowing who speaks what language in the home, or is it more like the getting to know your student better, like the back of the form? What is your favorite?
For me, when they start to talking about the values and their beliefs, that helped me a lot. That's the way I can think when I'm start to preparing activities for the babies or for the student.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I feel very comfortable doing it because I already know I have the idea about it.
Yeah, I like that too. I love knowing their family background because I think it's so fun. I think it's so fun. Like, I think that's the glory of living where we live and teaching what we teach. I love when like grandparents live in their house and they can come in and volunteer in our classroom, and they can introduce music or like books, or when we study clothing at school and they can come dressed in clothes from their culture. And I love that family background stuff because sometimes, you know, like you don't want to feel like you're trying to like invade their privacy by getting to know them, but also you want to make sure that you're honoring their culture and keeping it strong with their student in our class. So I feel like I think that's my favorite part. But I also love about like what they like to do with their child. You know, like the question that says like, what are your favorite stories or books or whatever? I love that because then if it's their first week, I can like make sure that I have their favorite book out in the library to make them feel more comfortable, or like play their favorite song, or talk to them about when they go to the park with their mom or dad, you know, like, so I feel like it's a good entrance into, like, it can lead into a really comfortable beginning. And then obviously like all the deeper stuff, like the culture and stuff like that, about how we can add that into our class. But I love those two pieces.
Yes.
Yeah, I just think, what are you going to say?
And another thing, so I can notice when we start to introduce and do the interview with the parents, is like we create a home environment inside the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
So once you know, like how they, what are the special things for them and how they guide them, and what are, and the whole, for the whole child. So it's like, I have ideas. So that's the way I can introduce this inside the classroom. So that's the way they can feel comfortable with us in the classroom, because they have a little pieces for the beliefs they have at home, or they do it, you know.
Yeah, just like little pieces and reminders of their home to make them feel,
Yeah.
to feel like at home, especially because our students are there with us, you know, all day. And so it's nice. And your students nap, and I guess my students do too. But, you know, like, so if you have like little pieces and bits that remind them of home, I don't know, it's just a good way. Overall, I think it's a good relationship starter. I don't know, that just builds that relationship and makes it stronger in the short term, like in the introduction period, and in the long term over time of the year that you have them, so that you can like build in specifically things from their home language or their culture, yes, to help build it out.
Yes, and sometimes you'll be surprised, because sometimes you think and I say, wow, they have the same beliefs as me. Oh, wow, we have the same values, no matter if we know our, like, we know have the same culture or something. So you can relate yours with them, and that's made that connection to flow.
Totally. Yeah. And I guess I didn't think of that before. I think, or maybe I did, but yeah, most of the time I'm thinking of like, what is their home culture and what is their language, and how is it different from languages and cultures that are already represented in my classroom? But you're right. It also builds that bridge of like, well, you know, like with my family, I also love to go to the lake or whatever they talk about in like the specifics.